Let's talk about why dribbling is hard in games but easy in practice. This is something I hear all the time from people in the comments. They say, you know, in practice, I got these crazy handles, I can do anything I want to do, and then game time comes and I can't do anything. I can't remember my moves, I lose the basketball, the defender steals it, and all that kind of stuff. And we're gonna go over all that stuff in this video, some of the biggest keys, and a lot of these are like things that you probably never even thought of. I haven't seen really covered in other YouTube videos, so stay tuned for the entire thing. I've got a lot of good things for you in this one. So the first thing that might be causing you problems is actually this right here. Yes, the basketball. If you're playing in like organized games or pick up basketball with friends, things like that, what's gonna be different pretty much every time? The basketball, right? So you gotta get practice in with different basketballs. So what I'd really recommend you do is frequently switch up what basketball you have. If you have multiple basketballs at home, go ahead and do that. Also have a playlist at the end with some other tips to help you with not losing the basketball so much by working on different things to get you used to different basketballs really quickly. There's some unique training methods to help you be able to adapt to different basketballs a lot more quickly. The other thing is get to different courts, because different courts are going to be different too, right? If I try to do a move on this surface outside, the ball's going to bounce different because it's hard concrete, so it's going to bounce higher, right? Hardwood has certain dead spots. My grip with my footwork is going to be different, right? Sometimes outside you might have a dusty court, it's going to be hard to get good grip. Sometimes in indoor courts they're kept good or they're not good, right? So all those things are going to affect your footwork, the angles you move, and that could cause your dribble to be off just an inch. Maybe it bounces higher just an inch, and all those things are going to affect the way your game feels, right? You're not going to be as comfortable with the basketball and you're not going to be as effective. So what you want to do is get to different courts often, use different basketballs often, and check out that playlist I'll have for you at the end. Second thing, this is a big problem. Yeah, I can do all my moves, I can do pretty much anything I want, I'll never lose the ball, I feel crisp, I feel perfect, right? But guess what? Games don't happen that way. There's someone in front of you, there's teammates that you got to try to get the ball to, you're trying to get an angle to get to the basket. You know, you got your defender, you got help defenders in the lane, all that stuff, right? So you've got to start getting better at being able to do your moves in game situations. So the first thing is get into more games, so now you can start to figure out, okay, what's the angle I gotta take for this move, and how's my defender biting? You know, getting a visual feedback from seeing that defender, seeing how they should look to know, okay, I should go into this crossover, or okay, they're not biting, I'm just gonna go. That doesn't happen if you don't get into game situations. The problem with that is in game situations, there's 10 players on the court, right? That means you only get the basketball 1/10 of the time. So if you're at the court for 60 minutes, you actually get 6 minutes of practice doing your moves on defenders. So a couple things you can do to help with that is, well, get into some more one-on-ones, right? Playing one-on-one with people so you can start to get more repetitions in is great for that. Other thing you can do to get even more repetitions on that side of things is cones. And tennis balls. You can do things where you throw it out and you gotta react to where the tennis ball goes. Weaving between the cones so you can get started to get awareness for where you are on the court, right? And getting the feel for that. You could add both in together so there's a little bit of a reaction element. And now you're also trying to move around objects. Those are all skills that you've got to have down in game situations. So you gotta make sure that you're working on getting stuff like this in, so you're weaving around defenders, you're able to react to that spacing, getting that spacing right, and getting that tennis ball for the reactional element. If you want more specific tennis ball and cone drills that you can do, I'll have a playlist linked for you at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. Next problem that's probably making it hard for you to dribble in games but easy in practice is your head. You probably are getting nervous, right? I think we've all been there. Like, you go into a game and you get a little nervous, you're not quite so confident, right? So, a couple things you want to do is, first of all, if you're not, get into some more games with kids like that are your level, or players that are your level, and then also ones that are below. Could be a niece, a nephew, a younger brother or sister, right? Just kids that are at the rec league, or, you know, the rec gym, or the YMCA, or whatever it is that you play basketball, and just play against them to get your confidence up a little bit. But then you've also got to get in practice with players at your level. You've got to play in your organized teams, all that, right? And that's where the nerves are probably going to get the best of you. Well, getting into more of those games will help you start to adapt to that speed, the way they play defense. And the more you do it, it's like any repetition, right? If I do this move over and over and over, I'm going to get it really good, right? Well, if I play against competition that's higher over and over and over, I'm gonna get better at that too, as long as I'm practicing on my own and doing the stuff that I'm giving you guys in these videos. But on top of that, when you go into those games, you gotta approach it differently mentally, so you come into them with confidence and without the nerves. So what I can recommend you is you experience playing with just like friends, right? And it's light and it's cool and it's fun and you're not nervous. You play fine, probably. You probably have a lot of confidence, especially when you play with people that are, you feel like, are a level below you, right? So when you go into these games against defenders that are a little bit higher level, mentally think, this is just my buddies, no big deal. Because a lot of people, they take everything too seriously, number one. And number two, more than that, I mean, it's not really a bad thing to take the game seriously, but they take it like too seriously. But then number two, what is the problem from that is they go into it thinking, oh, what if he steals the basketball on this move? What if he jumps in front of this crossover? And they're worrying about all the bad things that could happen. If that's you, you gotta get rid of that mentality. You gotta think about, this is what I'm gonna do, right? And if you make a mistake, hey, that's gonna happen, it's part of the game. Michael Jordan missed shots, Kyrie Irving gets the ball stolen, Kyrie Irving loses the basketball, Steph Curry loses the basketball, Steph Curry misses shots, everybody messes up. So you gotta have a short memory. Be like, okay, you know what? He might have stole the ball on that one, but next time I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna have a counter move ready, right? Come with a plan of attack so you can say, next time, I got something in store for him. He ain't gonna get me, right? That will help you a ton mentally, and then just knowing that, hey, it was just one play. So those are some big tips. I'll have also a playlist that will give you a bunch of tips with confidence and not being nervous in games. Next thing is, you probably can't freestyle. So if you want to get better at basketball in game situations, you've got to get a little freestyle to your game. So what is freestyle? Well, I'm going to link you again to a playlist at the end, but I'll give you some quick examples. Freestyle is basically just kind of going wild with your moves, trying to do stuff that, you know, is different a little bit every time. You're not trying to do the same combos every single time. You're switching things up. Another thing you can do for freestyle is you can do all that stuff going to the hoop. And you can just do it imagining, okay, there's a defender in front of me, I gotta react to him, right? So mentally you can start to get in that state of mind of reacting to what's going on in the court and imagining those game situations, number one. And number two, being able to just pull off stuff on the fly, because in a game, like, it's not like, okay, I'm gonna do this move and he's gonna move exactly this way and then I'll beat him. No, it doesn't work that way. We all know that, right? Different defenders react differently, so you gotta have the handle to be able to adapt to those situations. So freestyle practice is a great thing you can do for that. There's actually a lot of different ways to work on this freestyle practice. I'll actually have a playlist for you at the end of this video that'll help you a ton. Definitely check that out. I'll give you some different ways that you probably never thought of to work on freestyle. Not stuff like this, but stuff like, you know, this. Working on different little concepts like that. You'll definitely want to check that out. It'll take your handle next level and do it in a really fun way. Next problem is something you might have noticed in this video. I've been doing almost every time, I've been doing this or this for a lot of the combos except for the freestyle part. That's a problem. If I only have that comfortable, that's gonna kind of keep me confined to a certain set of moves and I'm stuck in a rut, right? So a big thing with a lot of players, they don't have enough moves. Now I'm not saying you need a million moves, but you do need to branch out, right? If I've got this, well, I gotta have a counter move besides just doing this, this, or this, right? So I know my defender, okay, he thinks maybe I'm gonna come this way so I can hit him with an inside out dribble. That's a good counter move. What if from this move, my defender reacts? Maybe I could work on a step back, right? Branching off and adding variations is big, number one. Number two, coming up with a different starting point, right? All those started with this. So maybe I wanna do something that starts with an inside out into like a behind the back, or inside out into a step back, right? Branching off from there. Coming up with a big set of moves that you can count on. You know, a lot of what I would recommend you do though is just kind of figure out, okay, what's one good starting move, and then branch off from it, variate it, right? I could do this, right? That's a little variation. For my inside out, instead of coming like this, I could be like this, right? Things like that to switch things up. So now I've got all these variations, and then from there, once I've got some inside out combos solid, maybe I'll start with going let's go reverse between the legs, and then I can branch off from there, right? So having these different starting points for moves and branching off is huge. Again, I'll have a playlist for you at the end of this video that'll help you a ton with coming up with more moves and practicing them to perfection. Next, maybe you just need more practice with the ball. So that's simple, but are you getting enough practice in on your own? Are you getting enough practice in on games? At the end of the day, you've got to make sure you're getting enough practice in, because if you're not, it's going to be really hard to be confident in games. It's going to be hard to be crisp and have that extra little like precision with that inch you need, that extra little millisecond of speed you need if you're not getting enough practice in. So get in games, get in practice, do all the things that I've been giving you in this video. And as far as all this more specific stuff that I told you throughout this video that I would have for you in playlists, well, down in the comments down below, I'll pin to the top comment playlists that help you with each of those different elements, you know, being nervous, getting different practice with different surfaces and basketballs, everything, the freestyle stuff, everything's gonna be down in that comment. I'll put it all there for you, promise. And if this video helped and you really wanna take your handles next level, go to gethandles.com. I'll also have that pinned to the comments. That's a free ball handling workout. It's 100% free. It'll help you boost your athleticism, which is an important factor in games, and your ball handling at the same time. Only takes minutes to do. It's around thousands of players, and I'm positive, 100% positive, it'll help you too. And finally, the most important thing you could probably do is subscribe and click the bell icon, turn on all notifications so you can get all the newest videos, because if you want to get better, I'm always bringing you new ways to improve your game so dribbling is easier in games and doesn't feel so hard. Hit that like button if this video helped, drop me a comment, let me know, and I'll see you in those playlists down below. Pick which one you think will fit you best, and ideally check out all of them because they're all gonna help you a ton.